Over the decades since the Stonewall riots, LGBTQIA+ identity knowledge has grown a lot. For a well-known example, homosexuality was declassified as a mental illness some 3 years after the riots. Homosexuality hasn't been seen as a mental illness in almost 50 years now. However, there are other sexualities that haven't been, I don't want to say lucky, but at least that they haven't spent near as much time in the eyes of mental health professionals being an established sexuality. Asexuality is a solid example of this, only having been removed from the DSM, that big book of all things mental health related, in 2013. That hasn't been even 10 years yet. But we'll come back to those. What I want to do as a celebration of Pride in 2022 is to acknowledge how far our fight for rights has come. Because it's come so far since the Stonewall riots over 50 years ago. Let's start at the beginning of this tale. What was Stonewall? In conversations surrounding Pride, you may have heard people mentioning Stonewall or the Stonewall riots, but might not really understand what they are. Back in the 1960s, LGBTQIA+ folks have even less rights than they did today. The thought of a bar serving alcohol to the disorderly gays, aka those homosexuals showing themselves romantically in any way, like holding hands or kissing, was frowned upon. Stonewall was one of the bars in New York that served the LGBTQ+ community regardless of this. So police often raided this bar because of those disorderly gays. On June 28, 1969, patrons of the Stonewall Inn decided that enough was enough. Officers were always aggressive towards them, harassing them and discriminating against them, apparently including genital checks. Ew. Police barricaded themselves into the bar during a riot, which the rioters tried to set ablaze after repeatedly breaching the barricade. Even after the flames were extinguished and the barricade down, the riots continued for 5 more days. The LGBTQIA+ community was not about to back down. They were rioting for rights. These riots at the Stonewall Inn were what sparked the first Pride March on the 1-year anniversary, June 28, 1970. The chant from the Gay Liberation Front being, "Say it loud, gay is proud." In 1972, the United Kingdom had their first Pride Parade. That year, Sweden also allowed people to change their gender legally. This sounds awesome, until you realize that that Swedish person needed to be over 18, unmarried, and, until 2013 when it was changed, sterilized. In 1973, there was a business called Lambda who offered legal representation for the LGBTQIA+ community in promoting equality. In that same year, the DSM-2, that big book of all things mental health that I mentioned earlier, also known as the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, 2nd edition, it retracted their classification of homosexuality as a mental illness. Being gay had been a mental illness for years, so this was a good step forward. In 1977, the province of Quebec in Canada passed laws against discriminating on people based on their sexual orientation. A year later, Gilbert Baker created what is recognized as the first pride flag, the 8-striped rainbow flag. This flag was quickly changed when the bright pink stripe on top was found to be a color of material that was too rare and expensive to be commercially viable. Then it changed again to lose its turquoise stripe just before the Pride March in 1979, which, by the way, was the first national march in the United States. In 1981, Norway passed laws against discrimination, which included a ban on hate speech. Then, 7 years after the start of the AIDS epidemic, because, it's LGBTQ+ things, we have to mention AIDS. It's like a contractual requirement for reciting our history or something. I want to focus on accomplishments, not on another epidemic. Anyways, 7 years after the start of that, the first National Coming Out Day happened on October 11th, 1988. The next year, Denmark recognized civil partnerships of same-sex people. Same-sex marriage wasn't legalized in Denmark until 2012, however. This was just recognizing civil partnerships. The year after, in 1990, South Africa had their first Pride Parade. Then let's skip ahead a few years to 1998. This is when Michael Page created the bisexual flag. And in 1999, Sean Campbell created what is now known as the, I believe it's pronounced Labris, lesbian flag. Also in 1999, the transgender flag was created by Monica Helms. Then Y2K comes around. In the new millennium, the Netherlands legalizes same-sex marriage. In 2003, the United States finally legalizes same-sex acts. No, not marriage. Not yet. Just like other countries, just baby steps. Small baby steps. In 2005, though, Canada did legalize same-sex marriage. Then we can jump ahead about 5 years. 2010 brings a lot of progress and changes. Iceland legalized same-sex marriage in 2010. That same year, 3 flags were created. The lipstick lesbian flag was made by Natalie McCrae. The asexual flag was made from a vote by the Asexuality, Visibility, and Education Network, also known as AVEN, and the pansexual flag was created in 2010 as well. Some sources say it was created by Jasper V. Others say it's contested or unknown who made it. I can't find enough solid information to say for certain, so I'll leave stuff in the description as always. Moving along to 2011, the genderqueer flag is created by Marilyn Roxy, and in 2012, JJ Poole makes the gender fluid flag, while Tomlin follows suit with the polysexual flag. The year 2013 sees the creation of the intersex flag by Morgan Carpenter, and the recognizing, still not legalization, of gay marriage by the U.S. Supreme Court. 2014 was a year for flags. Salem X made the agender flag. A non-binary flag was created as well. This person's name is Kai Rowan. And finally, Cameron Whimsy created the aromantic flag. Finally, the United States recognizes same-sex marriage in 2015 and allows for homosexual people to get married. Then 2017 marks the first use of the Person of Color, or POC, rainbow flag. In 2018, a new lesbian flag is made by Emily Gwen. This year was also when Daniel Quasar made the new Progress Pride flag. Then, Taiwan was the next country to legalize same-sex marriage in 2019. That same year, the World Health Organization removed gender identity disorder from the ICD, the International Classification of Diseases. For those of you who are more familiar with the DSM, it's kind of like the international DSM. Last but not least on my list is the creation of the Intersex Progress Pride flag by Valentino Bichetti. Now, that may be the end of my list, but it is by no means, no stretch of the imagination, anywhere close to a complete list of all the accomplishments that the LGBTQIA+ community has been through, has made, has forged for itself. These are just some of the awesome accomplishments of the community. Just a small handful of the amazing things that we have done since the 1969 Stonewall riots. And this doesn't even touch at all on the amazing things that happened before the Stonewall riots. So even though we ran through this very, very quickly, I do hope that you learned something. Happy Pride. Remember, Pride started as a riot, so be safe out there. If you have any topics you would like to see covered about mental health or LGBTQIA+ topics, please let me know down in the comments below. Resources will be listed in the description as always. Thanks for watching the OCD Enby. Stay safe out there.